I've just started the recording. Good morning, guys, and thank you once again for joining week 7, day 2. Um, we have been doing a lot, and today we're going to top up. We're going to top it up. Today is going to be if, then else. Okay, we're going to do if, then else. So, we done for loops. You have understanding of for loops. You're going to go and play around with it. We're going to introduce ourselves to if what, if then else. Yeah. Now let me give you a layman's explanation. Okay. So I want to fry an egg. You want to fry an egg, and the thing is, you want to fry an egg. Yeah. The egg, you do things when some conditions are met. So the way I fry my egg, I obviously crack the egg and I check if I have a pot, a bowl. I'm going to crack the egg into a bowl. So the bowl needs to be ready first, isn't it? The bowl is there. I need to pull my bowl from my cupboard, put it there. I need my knife. And before I start anything, I need to make sure that I have everything. And that's check. Your body checks. You have everything. You will not crack the the egg if you don't know if the bowl is not there. So you do a check. In that sense, you yourself, you're checking that the bowl is there. And if the bowl is there, that's the only time you crack the egg, because you want the egg to go into the bowl. So you have checked and the bowl is there, and then you crack the egg, put it in a bowl, put your salt. Okay. Sometimes I taste my egg when I mix it with the salt. I taste it a little bit and see if the salt is enough. That's a check. You're checking the content of the salt. And if the salt is enough for me, then I'll continue to the next stage. Else, what will I do? I'll put more salt. Okay. If, then, else. Okay. If, then, else. If I check something and the output, the results of the check I did will make me make a decision, either go forward or stop or redo. If I check and the salt is enough, I'll continue with my egg. If I check and the salt is not enough, I'll put more salt. And then I'll put my frying pan, put oil on it, and wait a little bit for the oil to get hot. And then I do a check, don't I? You will check. If the oil is hot, pour in the egg. Else, wait a little bit and let the egg, the oil to be hot. Okay. I put my egg in it. I check. If the bottom part is done, flip it. If it's not, leave it on the fire for a little bit more, and so on and so forth. So if something, then this, else that. Okay. That is all. Some of you might have been introduced to if then else before. So this probably might be a revision to you, or you haven't done it for a long time. Okay, so in Bash, the syntax is also obviously for every programming language. Like I said, there's a syntax of how to do if, then, else. Of course, when the program is finished, you need to finish it. So I say, if the egg is cooked, then stop. Don't do anything else. Okay. If the egg is cooked, then stop. Don't do anything else. So if, yeah, if is the word that we type, okay? And most of the times we put the condition into a square bracket, and this is what we call the syntax. And something, can you see, guys?
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Okay, something must be true or false. We are not doing spellings here. Did I spell it wrong? Well, I can't even spell false. Imagine. Oh yeah, no. Oh, it's A. It's not. I know it's wrong. Okay, something must be true or false. Okay, and in Bash, the syntax is you start with an if, you do a condition. This here is called a condition. Yesterday, when we were doing Bash loops, there were conditions here for the loop. Yeah, here too, there's a condition, and in this we put it in a square bracket. Something must be true or false or equal to. Well, yeah, true or false is a condition. Then you finish with a semicolon. Okay. If whatever is here is true or false, then yeah, then do something. Yeah, something is done here. Else, that means, so here it was true. Let's say here it was true. Yeah, something is true or false, but today let's pick true. If something is true, then something is done here. Okay. The reason why done is green is because it's a word that you can't use. Okay. Something is done here. Or so we got else, yeah, else, if, but. In Bash, this English word, they've shortened it. They don't want to write else if, because we are going to do another check. So if something is true, then I want you to check something else as well. Okay, so but it's called elif, okay, and then you do another check. And remember, the condition here, there's a lot of ways that you can check for something, but today I'm teaching you that this is the normal way. Okay, if you know this, you can go a lot of ways. So I'll do another check. Maybe let's say I want to check, I want to get a true. If this is false, then go and do another check. Check something else. I want a true because I want to get a true. Okay, so to be true, if the frying pan is not hot, then go and check if the fire is on. You get? Because why would the frying pan not be hot? So I want to go and do another check if the fire is on. Again, it's a check. You end it with semicolon and then a then. So I went, if the frying pan is false, it's not hot. Is the frying pan hot? No. Check the fire is on. Is the fire on? Yes, the fire is on. Then leave the frying pan to be, we are doing something here. Okay. Okay. So we do something here. And then we say, else this one will be ending it. This is the end. So if something, I didn't find it, check another thing. Okay. And you find it, then do this, else there's a default. So here you just enter here and then you put else. We are not going to cook at all. Okay, so check the frying pan is hot. It's not hot. Okay, if the frying pan was hot, we're probably going to cook our egg. Yep. Check if the frying pan is not hot. Check if the fire is on. If the fire is not on, then we will then say, if the fire is on and frying pan is not hot, then we probably will say maybe frying pan is broken. Okay, frying pan is not working. It's not making sense at the moment. Frying pan is not working. So if frying pan is not working, frying pan is not hot, but fire is on, and the frying pan is not not hot, then we will not cook at all. End. So we will not cook at all, and then we end the program. And then when in Bash, when you start a case, yeah, when you want to finish it, for some of them, you just reverse the beginning. So phi. So it says phi. This is the syntax. Python is completely different, but the logic is the same. So if something, then do this. Else, do this. Check again for something else, then do this. If none of them, you meet none of them, then do this one and finish. Okay. I'm going to because obviously creating a file, converting it into an executable file, I want you to be doing it a lot. So create a file and call this file today's date, 30th June, 30_June, 30_June, yeah, underscore if underscore then underscore else .sh. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to create my file. I'll just create it in this here. Okay, I'll just open in terminal and I'll touch. Please do this, yeah? Please, no, don't do what I'm doing. Create a file. I want you to just create a file. Guys, touch 30_June_then if then else .sh. Okay, so I have my file. I'll open my file. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable called first name. Okay, remember we are topping up on our loops, but first name, and I'll pass first name to the user to $1. Okay, we all know what $1 is. Okay, and I'll say if we want to do a check, I'll open the check, and then we want to call the variable, which is, you need to put space, variable is going to be called this way. Yeah. First name. Yeah. And I'll put, I think the variable, what we need to do is to put this variable in curly bracket. You all know about this, how to resolve whatever is in this variable. We've done it before. Now, the thing is, if the condition you check something must be equal to, greater than, or so, it's a condition that you're checking. Conditions are, one of them is we use the operator equal to. Okay, if first name is equal to Bernard, yeah, then remember, we are just going to do echo. We're just going to do something, but this time around, remember, echo is going to be everywhere. Echo A, whatever is in the first name. Okay. What we can do is just do else here. Okay. Else echo hey, you are not Bernard. And phi. Okay, so we're going to take a variable from the script, first argument, and we're going to check if the whatever the person will provide is equal to Bernard. And if it is equal to Bernard, we will say, hey, welcome, Bernard. Yeah. Else, we'll just say, hey, you're not Bernard. Okay. So remember, when I was teaching you, I did if, but I just want you to know that you can, if you don't want to do a further check, you can just else. So if something, do this, else do this. If the pot is hot, cook. If it's not hot, wait for it to be hot. This is it. This is simple. If you want to do another check, then we will come back to that one as well. So who has got to this stage? Well, who hasn't got to this stage? Good. So let me save, and then we go back to our, what I need to do is the file. I can't run it. We all know that I can't run this file. I can't run it. Cut 30. I don't want to type it all, so I use cut so that I can use the autocomplete. If I put this, I can't run it. Remember, when you put this and you type 30, and if the file is executable, autocomplete should be able to help you to autocomplete. But if it's not executable, the system is saying this file is not something that you can execute with. So I just do the chmod u plus x. Hey, u plus x works. Plus x also works, and other people also have other stuff. Yeah, we just want to make it executable. Now, if I run it and I type 30, and autocomplete knows that this file is now executable. Okay, and I need to put in John. So the file is expecting one argument, and as you can see, we are taking that argument. This $1 is equal to whatever comes after the file is run. Yeah, we did that already. I'm just pointing it. So $1 is going to be the name, and it's going to be put into this variable here. So we take that dollar, whatever is in that variable, and then we check if that is equal to Bernard. If it is, we're going to say, hey, welcome, whatever is in there. If not, you are not Bernard, is what we will say. Or we can say, hey, I'm expecting Bernard, not whatever. Okay, so, and if I run it, boom, see, it says, hey, you're not Bernard, because it checked what it did, this condition, and it didn't meet that condition, so it didn't run this code. It didn't run this code, the echo here. It didn't run it. It went and run this echo one here. If I then give it the correct name, it will run this code here, line 5. So it skipped line 5 and run line 7. Okay. So if I actually provide Bernard, anybody who's a Ghanaian hearing me say Bernard, they're probably going to think, hey, this guy, Charlie, they changed my name when I come here. So that's how they call me. It's not Bernard. You see, it's running that code. Hey, welcome, Bernard. And it takes the variable and do this. Okay. Does it make sense? So remember, the syntax is that the else should be the last thing you do. That's the default. If we don't meet anything on the top, this is the default. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do elif. Elif, we do another check. Yeah. The variable is equal to Paul. Yeah. So we're doing another check. We found that it wasn't Bernard. It will check and see, is it Bernard? Then you say, hey, welcome, Bernard. If it's not Bernard, it will do a further check again. Now I'm looking for Paul. I didn't find Bernard. I'm looking for Paul. If it finds Paul, we want it to do something else. Echo. If it finds Paul's, echo, hey, at Paul, Bernard is not available, so you are the boss today. So if it is Bernard, you say, hey, welcome, Bernard. If it's not Bernard, do another check. If it's Paul, if it is Paul, then Paul will be the boss. If it's neither of them, then you say, hey, you're not Bernard or Paul. Yeah? And then we save it. So we will try again with Bernard. It ran the first one because it did the check and it's Bernard. So it ran this and it skips all of this. It skips this one, it skips that one, and the program finishes because this condition was met. Yeah. If we put Paul, see, hey, Paul, Bernard is not available, so you are the boss. It did the check. It's not Bernard. Oh, I'm not going to, okay. I need to check if it's Paul. It checked and he said, oh, it's Paul. So Paul is the boss now. and then it skipped this one. So the top and the bottom got skipped, and it came down, and it did the finish the program. If it's not in neither of them, and we put Chris, who's never meant to be the boss, Chris is trying to. What's Chris doing? Hey, you are not Bernard or Paul. So it checked. It's not Bernard. Okay, let me check again. It's also not Paul. Right. Whoever it is, I know you are not either of them. So this is the else. So if Elif else phi. Joshua, you're going to play football. By now you should be showering and changing. We're going in about 40 minutes. Can go and get ready. Okay, this is it. Guys, this is it. I'll stop recording, and then if you have any questions, ask. We are then going to use it to do more things. Now, one thing I need to tell you is that $1, instead of putting $1 into a variable and coming to check it here, I can let this go. Yeah, let me comment this out, and in here I can do this. This is a syntax. Okay, if I want to call whatever the person is going to give me, I put $ in a curly bracket and I put comma. Yeah, this is equal to this. Don't ask me why. These are syntax. So this means that the argument that they are going to pass is what I want to be put here. So if I want to check the 2, so I can do 2. So what's happened is I will provide 2 names. First argument and the second argument. If the first argument is Bernard, say this. If it's not Bernard, go and check the second argument. If it's Paul, then say Bernard is not available. Okay, so first argument, second argument. This way, I'm not having to create a variable and put the argument in it every time. I have to do find a thing. So I will then put 2 names, Chris and Paul. You see that it went and did Paul because it checked the first name is not Bernard, and it checked the second name. And now it's running the 2. So passing argument to a script. This is the value of the first argument and the value of the second argument. But when you want to use it to do a check, this is how you call it. This is how you call it. Guys, you just have to learn this or know that you can't. It's either you create the variable and put it there, or you do this. Okay. Just know that collecting a variable from the argument, there's more. You can do more. Okay. So don't get confused. These are some of the things that if you're working and it's not working, at least today you know, you can go and research and get it there. So, right. Any questions? Because we're going to go and do more with the if then else in the loop.
So when you on line 4 of the code that is on the screen, when you change it into $, into parenthesis 1, how come you didn't change for line 5 as well? Because you've got that variable in the underline.
Oh, you're right. The output. Well done. The output will be bad. Look, hey, see, it didn't put anything there. It was meant to say, hey, whoever, it's not available. So this will fail. If we provide Bernard, see, this failed. It was meant to put whoever it is. So we need to say we need to just put, remember when you're calling it here, it's completely different. You can actually call one. You can just call the first variable, the first one, $1. Okay. So someone, we provided $1 and Paul, and we're saying that if $1, then say welcome Bernard. If not, check $2 and tell $1 that $1 Bernard is not available, so Paul is there, is the boss. If not this, so this here needs to change to $1 because he's the boss. Yeah, well done. If I save this and I run it, it's either it's going to fail or it's going to work. Voila. So now it put Chris there because Chris is the $1. Hey Chris, Bernard's not there. I checked and Paul will be the boss. But if I change and put Bernard here, Bernard and Paul, it will not run the other one, hopefully. Bernard, welcome. Because what happened is, it did the first check, it found it, so nothing else matters. It will not check for Paul again. It found what it was the first one, so it's not going to check for the second one. It's only when it didn't find the first one that it will do the second check. Okay. Well done for spotting that out. We all know what $1 is, and we all know what $2 is. Okay. We all know what that $2 is. Okay. All right. Any more questions?
Hi, Benny. I want you to compile the one that I wrote. I can't find where I went wrong.
Okay. Share your screen. Oh, I just want to share his screen and I have to share my screen back. All right, share your screen.
All right. Are you able to see my screen?
No, yet, not at all. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, I can see it. Right. Okay. First thing is the square bracket. There has to be a space between the square bracket and the $sign. That's first error. There also have to be a space between the equal to and the. So these are the syntax I'm telling you. There should be a space. The equal to has to be on its own. Okay. No, it's not attached to anything. Aha. What else do I see? This should work. Let me see and you didn't indent anything, guy. You didn't indent anything. Remember, when I did it, I indented. So after line 3, indent.
Okay. What do you mean by
put it at the beginning of the 3 and press tab. Go to the beginning of line 3 and press tab.
Okay, like this.
Yeah, you indent. It makes it readable. Okay, and after from line 1, go to line 1.
Okay.
End of line 1 and enter. See, remember, code, sometimes a code will be huge. And if someone can't even read it, it's not readable. See, when you do it like this, for Python, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. Python will not run if you don't write it with indentation, proper indentation. For Bash, it doesn't matter, but it's a good practice to do that. For Bash, what you've done would have worked, okay? But it's best that you start learning about these little, small little things. It will fail you, okay? So save it and run it. It should work now. And plus, no. Okay, you just put dots. You didn't put / and it works. This guy is practicing a lot of
things. I'm trying my best.
Well
all right,
done.
Thanks.
Well
Thanks,
done.
Benny.
That's okay. Okay, who else is having a problem? the little things. Don't pay attention to the little. It's called attention to detail. Don't think, oh, it's all right. So no. Okay, little things. Jean-Luc, what's your problem? Share your screen. Okay, so Jean-Luc, you have.
I tried to learn since you read the first code.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to learn it. Actually, here was my first name, but really didn't work. I don't know. It gave me this syntax
You didn't
error.
end the program. If else phi. You haven't ended it, and it's telling you that there. The ID is telling you that there's something wrong. You haven't concluded if. So it's if else phi. If you don't put the phi at the end, you haven't concluded the program. You have to conclude the program. So go back one and put fi. If else phi. You have to phi it. Are you going to do it? Go back one. Go back where you are now. Where the no, I didn't say go up. Come down. Come down again. Well, you have to enter. Go to the end of this line and enter. And then go back one. Backspace, and then fi. Fi. That's it. So this is a complete if-else statement. If you don't fi it, it's not going to work in Bash. But in Python, at the moment, Python 3, you probably will not have to end the if statement. So here, if statement has to be ended. So you started if. You say, okay, I started an if statement. If I have to end the if statement, and the phi is in Bash is to end the if statement. Like when we're doing the for loop, you start for, and if you don't do done, you haven't finished the for loop. You have to end the for loop. Done is the end. Okay, so this is what you did wrong. And if you can't see my screen, tell me. I don't know why you're missing these small little things. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Anybody else? Edmond, you can share your screen if you have the ability to share your screen.
Sorry, I don't have the ability to share my screen, but I'm just asking a quick question.
Okay.
I know I've not been for the past 2 weeks, so I don't want to sort of take you back. But I've realized that at the beginning of your code, you don't have the shebang thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering why that is the case.
Yeah, no. So yes, I will do shebang. I haven't done shebang at all. Okay, we just want to run the file for now. I haven't taught them shebang yet.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. You're not far off. I will do shebang, but currently we don't need it. It's working, but I will take my time. I've actually got it in my program that I'm going to explain to them what shebang is and why we need it. So yeah, thank you. Okay. Let me try and share my screen again. Okay, I think I can stop this recording, and then we can then